Canoe Slalom. And Team GB, I think we're just going to find out the team for the Olympics. It's going to be announced live on air by our next guest, somebody we've spoken to before, a gold medalist in the sport in 2016, Joe Clark. Mallory Franklin, Kimberly Woods and Adam Burgess have all competed at the Olympics in Canoe Slalom. Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon. Thanks for having us.
Wow. So we're working on the basis that you're all making this announcement. You're all in the team because it could be a bit eggy otherwise. So, Joe, are you in a position to tell us that you've all made it?
Yeah, I mean, it's on me, is it? Okay, cool. Just put me on the spot like that. Yeah, I'm proud to say that all four of us will be selected to race in the Paris 2024 Olympics. So that's Adam Burgess, Joe Clark, Kimberly Woods and Mallory Franklin. So yeah, massively proud and happy to be here.
Well, congratulations.
That's exciting, isn't it? Have you seen the venue yet for Paris? Do you know where you'll be doing this?
Yeah, I mean, we've been out there a few times already. We actually had a race on there. Our World Cup final was there just a few weeks ago. I mean, I really like the venue. I think you guys do too, don't you? So
yeah, it's gonna be an exciting event, and we're all super excited.
Does each course differ a lot from another course, or is it a standard?
Do they try and get a kind of identical standard for you, or not, Mallory? How does it work?
They are moving more towards being similar because a lot of courses now are pumped and have a rapid block system in where you can move the blocks to change the configuration of the course. So they're all starting to be a little bit similar, but they all for sure have their own intricacies because the depth or the width of the course can affect how all the water moves, and then however the blocks are set changes as well. But we used to do a lot more paddling on natural rivers, but everything's pumped now. So.
Right, yeah. I mean, the facilities, Kimberly, I would imagine are fairly important. I know the facilities in this country seem to be pretty good.
Is it Lee Valley?
Well, that's not a million miles from me. I've been down there, not to Canoe Slalom, but to do the old whitewater rafting. But it's a great setup there, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got the best whitewater course in the world. Obviously, it was built for London 2012. All of us had to sit back and watch those games, but all have been inspired by that. And yeah, we have the best course, and we hope to configure some of it to look like Paris, but nothing compares to home.
Have you all taken different routes into professional canoeing? I mean, how did you get into the sport?
Yeah, we've all taken different routes. All from different parts of the country. Me and Adam are from the same canoe club, Stafford and Stone Canoe Club. So we just celebrated the canoe club being 50 years old. We both got through the same kind of system through middle school, year 6. It was a come and try it. There was 8 people chosen from Adam's year, is the year above me, and 8 people from my year. So from 16 athletes to whittle down to have 2 Olympians sat in front of you is pretty cool and shows the lelegacy of the club.
Yeah, it goes back to the old Matthew Side thing about that opportunity of having good facilities in an area that means
coaches.
And good coaches as well. So what about
if you see the river in Stone, it's quite unassuming. Like there's no white water. It's almost a stream, but the club has consistently produced world-class athletes, and yeah, we're both immensely proud to be from Stafford and Stone.
What about your clubs, guys? Where do you do your thing?
I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere in a town called Rugby. I trained on the canals. Probably more flat water than these guys at Stone, but travelled to Nottingham where they had the white water course, and the programme was based there, and just did a lot of travelling thanks to my wonderful grandparents who took me across the whole of the UK to get better at it.
That's the thing, isn't it? When you compete in events, like you compete in the Olympics, your mind goes back to all those hours that family put in and all the everything they gave up to make sure you could sort of live the dream, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here without them today.
Yeah,
that's sweet
for sure.
And what about you, Mallory? Where's your club?
So I grew up in Windsor. So my canoe club's technically Windsor and District Canoe Club. Not a massively slalom club, but there's a few different areas around that. Like I went across to a place called Shepperton that has a weir that you can paddle on. But yeah, same as Kim. Like I got in when I was really young into canoeing, but my parents drove me all over the place and did quite a few road trips into Europe, which is pretty cool to be able to go paddle on all the rivers in Europe. And yeah, probably owe it to them a lot to why I was able to progress in canoeing. Yeah.
And was it always canoe slalom for you guys? Were you involved in other sports, or was I mean, from your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, before canoeing, I was one of those kids that kind of liked everything. You know, I was playing football, I was swimming, all sorts. And as soon as canoeing came along, quite quickly, started dropping everything and just wanted to go canoeing every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, still kind of big into other sports as well. But yeah, really, really love canoe slalom.
Is it expensive to do? Is it lottery funded? I mean, how does it work?
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's kind of not the cheapest sport to get into. Second-hand market's certainly changed a lot since we got into the sport. I remember my first boat was about £150, but trying to find a boat anywhere near that nowadays, you're going to really struggle. Obviously, all this inflation going on, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're very fortunate to have UK Sport and National Lottery funding to help us to do our job every day, basically. So that's what makes it professional and allows us to go out there and to contend for these medals in the Olympics.
And I mean, you won gold in 2016. Mallory, you won silver in 2020. So kind of winning medals and people seeing that, do you see a kind of uplift in people wanting to participate? You get more people wanting to do the sport? Is it quite noticeable off the back of that?
Well, I certainly know from my experience from the club in Stafford and Stone, they were inundated with people wanting to do it.
Right.
And we're starting to see some of these athletes. Obviously, it was 8 years ago, so that intake of like 8, 9, 10-year-olds, you're starting to see some of them go on to like start contending for junior spots or putting themselves in the mix and stuff, which is quite cool to again show that legacy of Stafford and Stone. Like 8 years on, it's producing potential junior team members and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's probably the same, or maybe a few more slalom athletes from a not so slalom orientated club.
Yeah, I guess Windsor probably. Because I probably moved although it's my club, I've been based in like around Lee Valley for quite a long time. So I think Lee Valley was probably the place that more saw the benefit of having had that medal and I guess the success we've generally had in canoeing. Windsor's, when I got into it, wasn't really a slalom club, and it probably has gone downhill a bit as well. But there's definitely been a lot of people get canoeing off the back of our successes.
And I suppose more people wanting to do it increases the competition for you guys to get into the team because it's a bigger pool of people, and also the expectation rises when you start winning medals, don't you? And there's more eyes on you because it's a sport that we've done pretty well at. So you're feeling the pressure a bit of that, Kimberly, or not?
Yeah, I mean, we had the World Championships this year, and it was the most successful event that we've had as a team. Obviously, us three here became world champions as well.
Yeah, wow,
and it was an incredible event to be a part of. And yeah, me and Joe are going into an Olympic year as world number ones and world champions. So it's kind of like maybe we do have a bit of a target on our back, but you know, we're really competitive and we kind of love that feel. We're the ones to chase. And
what are the other nations that are kind of likely to push us all the way, you think, guys?
A lot of Eastern Europeans, Germany, France, Australia and the girls.
So basically the teams that are strong at rowing, basically, as well.
I guess so, yeah. Similar, yeah.
Wow, way.
It changes from different categories. Like what's competitive in one category is slightly less competitive in others. But yeah, there's the more Eastern European nations. For the men's kite, like Czech Republic, probably a country you would not necessarily put up there. He's the reigning Olympic champion.
Okay.
And he finished second to me at the World Championships, so he's certainly the one for me to beat.
Yeah.
Obviously in the female category in C1 and K1 and kite cross, you've got Jess Fox from Australia, who's won in K1 and C1.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she provides stiff competition as well.
So you all have your nemesis in a different sort of category. There's obviously somebody who's going to be, you want to beat and they want to beat you. So, wow.
Indeed.
So, well, look, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
We'll kind of follow your progress up until the Olympics and certainly during. So, lovely to see you all. Thank you very much for coming in.
Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons, 1 till 4. On AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.